We are back. It's the Joe Holka Show presented by Prize Picks. Week 13. It's the big show. How's it doing? How's it doing? How's it doing? How we doing, everybody? After Thanksgiving, we're starting off a little bit slow here. Honestly, it's one of those things where this week I always feel a little bit behind just with all of the festivities, but also just out of routine. I'm a very big routine person, especially when it comes to preparing for these slates. And it just so happens to be one of the grosser slates that I think we've had all year. So excited to break it down with you guys. We're going to go position by position per usual. And we're also going to build a DraftKings lineup at the end. How's everybody doing? How we feeling? How we feeling on this beautiful week 13 slate? How'd you guys do in week 12? Bunch of people in the chat. You guys are ready to roll today. I would say this is probably one of the earlier I guess, chats that I've seen just flowing in the morning. So you love to see it. Goodbye, Jonathan James. Hello, Max Brosmer. Yes, we're done with the JJ McCarthy lineups for now. So no more glutton for punishment there, at least. What's up, guys? How we doing? How we doing? Casey Bone. Jeremy's in here. What's up, guys? Wayne Casey's in here. How we doing? Catcher. What's up, Catcher? How's it going, man? Poor Old Miss. Yes. Yes. All the college football love today as well. Hat on backwards. What's up, my man? John Spenceley. For the birds. Props you cooked on Thanksgiving Day. Yeah, props were really good. It's one of the first Thanksgivings that I didn't really play a ton of DraftKings in general. I've just never had a ton of success with those slates for whatever reason, and I always get a little bit more uncomfortable when like some of the value was basically going towards like those Green Bay guys, but then realistically stacking up Jordan Love, you need him to go crazy and throw 3-4 touchdowns, which is obviously what he did. So you needed all the Love stuff to actually go right in DFS. And the prop stuff actually ended up looking really good in game number 2, which was nice. But for DFS, that's not really what you needed. So hopefully everyone was on the props in that Dallas KC game. I think we came pretty close to a full sweep in that game. And then some of the stuff on Twitter. I guess, by the way, too, if you're just watching the videos for the props, a lot of other stuff going on Twitter as well. I try and do some extra picks over there. So just at the Joe Holka Show, you can find me over there. Check out Twitter. Twitter deserves some love. Rams may score 50 today. Possible. That does seem to be one of the few spots where we could have a little bit of conviction, but very expensive to stack up fully. Feel like I need a salad. Yes, me as well. A little too much turkey for me. I have my Friendsgiving today too, so that should be a lot of fun. Haven't seen Spanky in the chat yet this morning though. Burn is ready to roll. I'm ready as well. Let's do this. Let's start with a poll like we always do. Who will be this week's highest owned player? Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Devon Achane, Kamani Vidal, Jalen Waddle, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, or other. What do we like today? Highest owned player on this gross week 13 slate. All the good games around Thanksgiving. What a bummer. Salt River Hillbillies. What's up, my man? How's it going? Let's have a day. What's up, Mikey boy? How we doing, man? Highest owned player today, friends. Exclamation point vote, space the number. You guys know the drill. It's week 13. If you're still here, you're one of our OGs and you're one of the real ones. Happy Taysom week. Now, what's funny is we've played Taysom once all year, and it just happened to be the week that he scored a touchdown. Let's go. Shout out to us. How gross do we want to get at quarterback today? I think is going to be the main question here. Poor Sun God. Yes. That ruined a lot of things in game number 1 for me, that's for sure. Not ideal. Velveeta Cheetah, what's up, my man? Iron Rage Cheddar OG here. Let's go. Still haven't seen you on the 4th, my man. Come find me. I smelled the Brosmer lineup. Oh, man. Can we do that? Can we actually do that? First start on the road in Seattle. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. We'll talk about it. I guess that's as gross as you can go. Unless you want to go with some Tyler Shuck. Brosmer at 4K, though, is pretty gross. I'll give you that. That's the gross award. Devon Achane lock but weak on Thanos. Yeah, Devon Achane. You know what I should probably do? I might just remove him from the running back poll because I think he's pretty clearly the top running back play, tier of his own type of play. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and remove him from the running back poll for right now. Devon Achane, obviously 8,300, even 8,700 on FanDuel, completely insane projection on him. Really, he's starting to get massive. Like he's starting to get like 20 plus carries a game, in addition to like that 25% target share that he's had. Only Christian McCaffrey has a higher target share this year than Devon Achane. So really, we're getting just massive volume there, and we know what can happen when he's going to get his opportunities. So let's take Achane out of there on a slate where I think it's going to be a little bit more stars and scrubs. He is easy to get there, and you guys agree that he's going to be the highest owned player. So I'm going to remove him from running back. Maybe we'll start with running back today. That sounds fun. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's start with running back. I'm removing Achane from the poll. Best running back play today, not Devon Achane. Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker, Kamani Vidal, Ashton Genty, Bijan Robinson, Kyron Williams, or other. What do you guys think? My Hawks are going to go wild today. Warn my parents they should not watch. They're just like Vikings diehards. A Seahawks diehard on the Iron Range. Interesting, my man. Interesting. I'm a reformed Arizona Cardinals fan, so the Seahawks, I'd be on the other side of that one. I finally made the transition to being an official Vikings fan 2, 3 years ago, something like that. Great time to do it. It's a fun time to be a Vikings fan right now. Best running back play, price considered. If it's not Devon Achane, who is it? ETN versus Tennessee. Interesting. What's up, Werner Bell? How's it going, man? Darnold revenge game. Maybe. Yeah. Do you think he's like offended? He went and got a bunch of money. He's in a great spot in Seattle now. If anything, he's like probably happy, right? Maybe not. JSN throwback last year. That's sick. Yeah. Love me some JSN. Brees Hall leading the way on this poll so far. We got a little bit of Bijan love. Interesting. Okay. Fair. Not a lot of Kenneth Walker love. 3 votes for Kenneth Walker. I barely ever play this guy, but it does seem like a really good spot for him. And it seems like he's starting to separate a little bit from Zach Charbonnet. Have you guys kind of felt that shift a little bit? It does feel like he's just starting to get a little bit more volume than normal. And it used to be kind of like that 50-50 split. Charbonnet always a threat to come take those touchdowns, but I don't know. They keep talking about it in the media that he's like earned more work. Haven't really heard them talk about him like that before. Massive favorites in this game, obviously, against the aforementioned Max Brosmore. But yeah, I think I'm a little bit heavier on Kenneth Walker, it sounds like, than you guys. Interesting. Okay. I think we can agree that Achane's the number 1 running back play. Brees Hall is right there, though. I'm with you. Basically, this entire offense, there's going to be a lot of people that play Jets today against this Atlanta defense. I think I'm okay with it. He's still getting all the work, obviously. The target shares still very strong, always a threat for big plays, 75 receiving yards last week as well. The problem is touchdowns with Brees Hall to me. I just have some concerns there that this team is not going to score. Is that fair? I just have some concerns they're not going to score any points. It's a 38-point total. The only total that's lower is San Francisco at Cleveland. We do have some weather as well. I'll be the one that breaks that seal today because I think that most of it is going to be okay. But we do have a few games that I'm kind of looking at a little bit. And that Jets one is one of the ones I'm looking at because it looks like there's going to be a little bit of rain. Not crazy wind or anything like that. 10-mile-per-hour gusts, it looks like. So I think we're going to be okay. But we might get some steady rain there. The one that I'm worried the most about for wind is actually the lowest total on the slate in Cleveland. San Francisco at Cleveland. So it looks like we might get some sustained winds around 25 miles per hour in that game. So that's definitely going to be not great for longer throws, kicks, that sort of thing. Maybe it is a little bit better for McCaffrey in some ways. Obviously, really tough matchup against Cleveland. But yeah, keep an eye on that one. Virtually fading Hall. I definitely don't think he's a bad play, especially on this slate where you kind of need to find guaranteed touches and guaranteed points. I think he's a really nice floor play today. Just a little bit worried about the touchdowns. Is that so wrong? Like if we're just looking purely at ceiling, like he's probably like my 10th highest ceiling play today at the position. And at that level, 35% ownership feels kind of a little bit heavy to me. So I think we're on the same page there. He's a fine play, just maybe not as chalk. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at too. Bijan Robinson, interesting. Obviously, like 8,500 feels like a pretty steep price tag for him, especially if he's not going to kind of approach those like 20 attempt numbers. He's really not even scoring a ton of touchdowns this year. I know the last time I said that he scored two, but I mean, he has two touchdowns over his last like 6 games. So that is a big problem when you get to these price levels, especially when you have Devon Achane at the same level, scoring a ton of touchdowns, and then obviously Jonathan Taylor, almost 10K on DraftKings still. He's the one that's a little bit tougher to get to in roster construction today, but obviously that nuclear touchdown ceiling is there for JT even against Houston. And no one's going to play him, right? So if we're just looking at leverage at the running back, if you were just to tell me today that your entire approach was I'm just going to try and get as much leverage as possible because this is a really gross slate and it's probably going to be low scoring and all of the good plays still feel bad, I actually don't think that's the worst approach. So if you're looking purely at leverage today, Jonathan Taylor's right there at 9,800. If you get him at like 5% ownership with that type of ceiling, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And then the other guys that I keep looking at, like, how do we feel about where Bucky Irving is at with his health? Is he going to be completely eased back in? Is he going to just basically vault back into the type of touches that we were expecting from him at 7K? Interesting. Sean Tucker, 5,500, also interesting. You can run on Arizona. I kind of think the Tampa Bay backs are going to provide a ton of leverage. I'm just not exactly sure if I have the stones to do it. So we will see. Nope, got your email, my man. Catching up from Thanksgiving. I will get back to you. Thank you for that. Was hoping you'd be in here today. I guess in terms of news, Aaron Rodgers will be playing. He has several broken bones in his left wrist. That seems not great. Non-throwing wrist, but still not ideal. What else we got here? Not a ton. Not a ton. Not a ton of news today. I think the one that we're kind of watching is Chris Olave, but he is expected to play. So all the people, all the masochists in the chat that are looking to play Tyler Shuck today, looks like you are going to get Chris Olave. Bucky Irving, though, foot, shoulder injury, practiced in full throughout the week. Always seemed likely to play. Bucks don't want to overdo it with Irving, but he will get his touches. That's like the direct quote from Schefter. So we've already kind of seen them do this and ease guys back in, especially with like Chris Godwin over the last couple weeks. So I would not be surprised if this is split down the middle. I kind of like the running backs, though, for Tampa Bay, if we're being honest. If you're trying to go max leverage, max chaos, that feels kind of interesting. I don't think a lot of people are going to get to McCaffrey as well. So like these I think the Stars and Scraps roster builds are going to be really popular, but I think a lot of people are going to use that salary to get to the more expensive wide receivers, right? So in that regard, or on that note, let's keep this thing moving. But let's circle back to quarterback quickly because it is a gross quarterback slate. In order to get to some of those high-end studs at wide receiver, we need to figure out who we're going to play at quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, Jacoby Brissett, CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert, Sam Darnold, Tyler Shuck, or other. What do we like at quarterback today, friends? It does seem relatively flat ownership-wise. I'm only seeing two guys projecting for above 10% ownership right now. Or are you just going to pay all the way up for Josh Allen? Good luck stacking him correctly. I see that like that Shivers touchdown last week, and I'm just like, there's a reason I never play Josh Allen, and it's because of that touchdown right there. I would love to play him. It is a pretty brutal matchup too for the injuries that they have. Pittsburgh's defense has actually been a lot better. I know at times, like earlier in the year, they looked kind of slow and old, but they have been pressuring the quarterback very well. And that's kind of what you have to do against Josh Allen right now with their injuries they have up front. So not super bullish on Josh Allen today, which means he's probably going to score 50. But if he does score 50, the odds of you actually stacking him correctly seem very tough for me. Maybe I'm just soft. Randy likes Josh Allen. Wayne likes him. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Is that where we want to spend our salary today? We want to pay all the way up for Josh Allen? Interesting. We have a lot of other votes today. You guys are, is it all Josh Allen people? Oh, it's all Stafford people. Honestly, Stafford should have been on this poll. That one's on me. That one's on me. Because I actually do like the Stafford stacks a lot. What's up, Joe? How's it going, my man? Better late than never. Hey, appreciate you being here, man. Seriously. Being here more than enough. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for popping in the chat. Appreciate you, bro. DK Metcalf or Tracy? The DK stuff is interesting with Aaron Rodgers coming back. Yeah. I haven't spent a ton of time on the Giants game outside of just making that props video. I do know it's a very tough matchup for Tracy. I actually have an under on Tracy, if that helps you. Allen doesn't have two of his starting tackles today. That's what I was searching for in my brain. Yes, the two starting tackles are confirmed out. Shuck ownership. I think people are just going to feel more comfortable going to CJ Stroud personally. But if you want to save 600, I think Shuck's going to be like 5-6%, something like that. Stafford for MVP means goal line passes to Adams. Hey, that's one thing I feel really good about this year. We were all over the Adams stuff. I played him a ton. I have played him in the props market a ton. I drafted him a ton. So I feel really good about kind of the early season read that we had on Devontae Adams. Anytime you get a guy like that, who his football IQ is like off the charts, and obviously his releases at the line have not gotten worse. And then you pair him with a guy like Matthew Stafford, one of the most talented throwers in the NFL, but also one of the smartest players in the NFL. It wasn't rocket science to figure out that that was going to work extremely well. Why are we not going 100% on Darnold revenge game? I'm not opposed to it. Who do we play with him besides JSN, though? I guess that's the problem. Walker? What's the correlation with Walker and Sam Darnold? Bad. Yeah, really bad. Interesting. My concern always with Darnold is the pass attempts. So maybe a skinny stack with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm sure that's actually kind of worked out a decent amount this year. And you just get that nuclear efficiency. And you get like 10 of those like 25 throws to JSN. That could work. It's interesting. I think you can kind of capture most of Darnold with just playing JSN though, right? Rams losing today. You heard it here first. Coming in with some heat. We got some CJ Stroud love. Yeah, I think I'm with you guys on CJ Stroud. I think he's going to be the most popular option, but 5K feels really cheap for him. Really cheap. Obviously, he's coming off of the concussion protocol. It's tough because this offensive line is still one of the worst in the league. They have a really good defense, so there's not usually a ton of back and forth in these games. But it's a pretty good matchup, and he's just way too cheap. So I like Stroud. I obviously like Nico quite a bit. 6,700 for Nico seems crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I would have Nico in my top 3 today for wide receivers. In terms of running back, I know we talked about Devon Achane just to catch some people up that might be coming in late. Devon Achane, I think, is in a clear tier above. I think Breece Hall is really safe. I'm just questioning the ceiling a little bit with, I don't know if they're going to be scoring a ton of touchdowns. So I think I like Kenneth Walker a little bit better, just with that massive total, double-digit favorites at home. So Achane and Kenneth Walker for me would be the top 2. And then if you're going to try and save a little bit, I do like Kamani Vidal in this spot at 5,700. Ashton Genty, I've heard a little bit of people talking about him as well. I think he's fine at 6,400 in the spot against the Chargers. Both of those guys seem pretty strong, but it does seem like a pretty clear tier break to me. Kyron Williams would kind of be like you're playing the opposite of just these people that are trying to glob on to the Stafford touchdown, the Stafford MVP stuff. It's definitely hurt him this year. Kyron kind of was living off of a lot of short touchdowns. And that's another thing I guess we got right, because I've never been really big on Kyron. I want these guys that can actually give me some efficiency on the ground. Charbonnet does vulture Kenny. He always does when Kenny's shocked. That's fair. Yeah, I actually have a decent amount of Charbonnet on season-long rosters. He was like one of those stands, like one of those one injury guy one injury away guys that I really liked. We doing 2 lineups today or 1? We'll see. I'm down to do 2. Why not? Why not? I think I liked Justin Herbert a little bit more than you guys. It seems like I'm on the Justin Herbert stuff a little bit. I think Jacoby Brissett's pretty strong. The pass attempts you're going to get for Arizona right now in this game against Tampa Bay still feels pretty good. No one's going to play Baker today. 5,900. We're just playing all these dust balls and no one's going to play Baker. Hmm. Any other news that I've missed this morning before we move on? I guess people are spooked by that shoulder injury still a little bit. AC joints are kind of scary, but it is his non-throwing shoulder. I'm not that worried about that. I'm not that worried about that. Is that crazy? Baker starting is what I'm seeing. Yeah. All right, let's move to a fun poll today. Top elite wide receiver play today: Jackson Smith-Njigba, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, or Justin Jefferson. So we playing the LA guys. Are we going to throw in Justin Jefferson again at 0 ownership? That didn't work out so well for us last week on that other throw-in team that we did. Or are we just all playing Jackson Smith-Njigba? This is going to be a 30-second poll. What do you guys think? The Puka Nacua stuff's interesting because I would prefer to play Puka Nacua in these games where it's going to be a lot of back and forth. We can kind of stack up a lot of volume. I don't know if that's the case. Devontae Adams stealing touchdowns. But, I mean, the target share is still pretty elite if we can get the passing volume for this game, right? The problem really has been the efficiency with this Rams team. They've just been marching up the field and they've been scoring touchdowns, right? So I think you could make an argument that 2 is still very strong. I will say there's not a lot of like games that I love stacking up today. So that's going to be an interesting poll. I think you can make some arguments for like this Jags Titans game. I think you can make some arguments for this Raiders Chargers game as far as like stacking it up completely, but it's kind of gross. It's kind of gross. A lot of JSN love in the chat. Yes, we love JSN today. Again, it comes back to will there be any pushback on the other side? Because passing volume is the big concern there. But I mean, it's hard to poke holes in JSN what he's been able to do this year, right? Very tough. All right, so let's go to a more interesting wide receiver poll. Top non-elite wide receiver play today: Jalen Waddle, Tet McMillan, Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, Adonai Mitchell / John Mechie. So are we jamming in the Jets wide receivers? Emeka Egbuka, Chris Olave, or other? What do we like at our non-elite? Like, what if we could kind of put together the perfect non-elite wide receiver play today with the state of this gross slate? Who is it? Arizona versus Tampa Bay game. I like that one. I like that one. What's the highest score? What's the highest implied total today? It's this Rams and Carolina game at 45. That's like one of the lowest top scores I've seen in quite some time. We got Arizona right behind it, Houston at Indy right behind that. Oh, sorry, I think I'm wrong. It's Buffalo Pittsburgh. They're at 45.5. I missed that one. But yeah, still very low. Still very, very low. I don't think many people are going to play Josh Allen today. Maybe it's a naked Josh Allen day. Could be. I guess the biggest problem with Arizona to me, Jamel Dean, expected back for Tampa Bay, he does seem to matter on defense. The splits are pretty crazy for Tampa's defense when they do have him and when they don't. We are going to get a ton of dropbacks, though, for Jacoby Brissett. Cam Ward been running a little bit more, which is kind of nice. I'm trying to talk myself into like what parts of that game I'd want. Somewhat interesting. Somewhat interesting. Higgins at 3,900. Yeah. Not a lot of like positive values today. But I think we're looking kind of at like the Adonai Mitchell, John Mechie. So like one of the Jets guys or both. Jaden Higgins at 3,900. Like, there's tons of value. It's not ideal, but like anytime that these like those type of plays where their ceiling is like under 20 points are popping up as some of the best values on the slate, probably just means it's going to be a lower scoring slate because we don't have like those mid tier elite spot clearly underpriced guys to me. Like maybe it's Jalen Waddle, but at 6,800, you still got to find some salary there. Nico Collins at 6,700 does feel underpriced. Tet McMillan at 61. I get it. I don't think it's for me, but I get it. We are going to get some Nico love. I like that. The Nico to like Stroud stuff, I think is going to be very popular for good reason. So if we went that direction with our lineup, I'd want to figure out a cool way to get different. Jalen Waddle seems like I like him a little bit more than you guys. I probably would have had him as my number one in this poll, but yeah, the consistency has been really strong, right? And I think we just like this game a little bit better. I think there's going to be some pace to this game. FanDuel, he's 7K, which is really cheap for this type of role. But yeah, against the Saints, I guess I'm expecting a little bit of pace, right? Those are the two games that I like for pace and for plays. It'd be New Orleans at Miami and then Arizona at Tampa Bay. Yeah. I guess that's one of my bigger concerns about CMC as well. Not only is Cleveland like an elite defense, like I don't think there's gonna be a ton of plays in that game. And that would also be my bigger concern about Jacksonville and Tennessee. There's some people I think that are on the Jacksonville, Tennessee stuff. I'm a little bit nervous about play volume in that game. Rudy, what's up, my man? New subscriber. What's going on, bro? Welcome in. We do it every single Sunday. Do I think the Sunday Night Football picks will hit the one you posted? My man, I wouldn't have posted them if I didn't like them. Every video that I post, I'm playing those myself with real American dollars. So yeah, man, I think it's gonna hit, but nothing's a guarantee. Any concerns with stacking Waddle with Achane? No, I don't think so. No, their correlation's pretty strong. Yeah, both of those guys can get there. Absolutely. Good question though. Let's move through this a little quickly. I want to get to some roster building. So let's talk about tight end quickly. Top tight end play today: Kyle Pitts, Orande Godson, AJ Barner, Dalton Schultz, Brock Bowers, Tyler Warren, or other. What do you guys think? Top tight end play today. Who are we on? We paying all the way down? We just gonna get Gadsden back? I haven't played enough Gadsden this year, that's for sure. But he does seem to be a guy that has Justin Herbert's eye. What do we think here? A lot of others. What's going on here? Hey, I appreciate that, Rudy. My man. Waller. Everyone's going after Waller. He got activated, right? Finally. He was kind of like a nice little stash, I think, in season long. If you were in tight end hell. Taysom Hill? Okay. I like the Hill play a little bit more on FanDuel, where like a touchdown can really carry you. But I don't hate it. What about Parkinson? I just like I can't play those Rams tight ends. Every time I play one, I think I score a touchdown and it ends up being the other guy. It's really tough. You guys don't like any of my tight end plays here? A little bit of Gadsden and everything else is other? What's going on here? You guys love Taysom Hill that much? Good God. Is that what we're doing today? You guys are nuts. We've got Waller and Hill love, I guess. Interesting. Is it that bad right now? I mean, I guess we could do a Taysom team. I'm not against it, but damn. McBride with Taysom Waller. Oh, so you're saying like play Taysom or Waller ahead of one of these dust wide receivers? Is this a double tight end day? I hate double tight end days. But with how gross the wide receiver value is, maybe that's the move. Maybe. Gross. Gross. I like Barner, Hill, and Waller. Barner, you get some tush push equity there. Yeah. Neil, Hill, both of them together. Maybe. Maybe. Gross. Okay. I guess I got to look at this Taysom thing a little bit closer. I knew he was like in play, but I didn't know it was like the play that everyone wanted to make. Gunnar Helm at 2,600. That's the other name I'm seeing here. 7 targets last week at 2,600. You could do worse. You could do worse. Taysom Hill for $100 more has 2 catches over the last 4 weeks. Are you guys nuts? I guess he's getting some rushes though. He's almost like a little like scat back running back for this team at that point. Yeah, so 2,700, I get it. What's the ceiling though? Like 15? When Waller has been in the lineup, it's been insane. Yeah, I mean, he's scored for sure. He's scored some touchdowns. I'm with you. I'm with you. No Kamara, he's due for a big game, has the highest odds to score for the Saints on DraftKings. Taysom has the highest odds to score? Is that right? Hold my beer. Is that right? That seems crazy. This is a prize pick show, so this will not be shown on screen, but yeah, I still see Olave as a higher touchdown odds. I still see Neal as a higher touchdowns odds. I still see Juwan Johnson as a higher touchdown odd. Am I crazy? Oh wait, maybe you're right. Hang on. I was looking at my projection, not the odds. You might be right. Wow. Okay. So people want to bet that probably. Plus 185, it looks like, for Taysom to score. That's interesting, I suppose. I mean, if we're going to get a touchdown for him at 2,700, like, I'm in. Finns suck against tight ends. You guys are talking me into this. Cash money. 50 bucks on him to score. Interesting. Okay. I might have, that just seems like a fun bet to make today. I got a Friendsgiving today. Taysom touchdown to score to pay for Friendsgiving. Only play, only move. Okay, cool. It's good to know. Let's get into like our stack here. Favorite game stack. If we wanted to game stack a game today, what is it? Buffalo, Pittsburgh, LA at Carolina, Arizona, Tampa Bay, Houston at Indy, New Orleans at Miami. This is all the games. So just like they're in order of team total here. What do you guys want? Exclamation point vote, space the number. This is the one that we are going to put some real American dollars behind. I might have to put Taysom Hill on this team. That is crazy. Okay, cool. I mean, you guys seem really confident, so I'm with you. Taysom Hill season 2,700. You're never gonna get a ton of pushback from me on like just playing one of the cheapest options possible at tight end in like the grossest week of the year. Like I think we're gonna start today with Taysom Hill and Titans D. Just go super cheap and just see how many of these studs we can get in. No stack today. Okay, fair. Let's let the people decide. Joe, don't do it. Maybe we'll do 2 teams today. I'm not opposed. We got some Miami love in here. You guys gonna make me play Tyler Shuck? Good God. The problem with playing Taysom though is he doesn't project well with anyone else, correlation wise. He's like so negatively correlated with the entire team. He's kind of neutral with Olave, I suppose. Get Tua in there. This is getting weird fast. I agree, dude. I agree. I kind of just like narrate the show. You guys run the show. This is getting weird. I agree. You guys gonna try and get me to play Waller and Taysom? Good God. I'm starting to like piece together a few things here, a few of my musts. Two at 4,900. We could do it. D-Mints, I might be with you. I think we're gonna make one Taysom team, one non-Taysom team. Got some Arizona love here too. Let's get a few more votes here. We got almost 200 people chilling. Let's get more than 23 votes. If you're just hanging out, listening to this, running around, doing things, let's get your vote here on this poll. Best game stack today. This is the lineup that we're gonna build here. This is a week people are gonna try and get too cute. Is Taysom Hill too cute? Is that what you're saying? Um, Leverage wise, to me, I think it's like going to some of these guys. I think Jacoby Brissett, if he ends up being like sub 10%, which is like what it's projecting, I think that's really strong. Baker Mayfield, sub 5%, really strong. People worried about that shoulder. So I think the leverage is probably Tampa Bay, Arizona at quarterback. I like Jonathan Taylor a little bit for leverage as well. Obviously, terrible matchup there. But if there's a guy that can still get it done, it's JT at 9,800. I like that a little bit. Wide receivers, I mean, do we have news about Marvin Harrison Jr. yet? He's just gonna be limited, right? Set to return. I still kind of like Michael Wilson a little bit at 5,900 at sub 10%. Brian Thomas coming back. I'm trying to find these guys that like everyone's gonna be scared to play today. BTJ I think is interesting in that game. Michael Wilson sub 10%. I don't love the leverage today. Devontae Adams still sub 10. If you're trying to go real weird at quarterback, I don't think anyone's going to play George Kittle today. 5,300. It's kind of tougher to get there, but could be a guy that could separate at a position that's really gross. Same with Trey McBride. When have we gotten sub 5? I kind of like this Arizona Tampa Bay game, it feels like. That's leading our poll right now. That seems to be where all the leverage is. Let's get weird. Let's do a nice Arizona stack today. But here, I'm gonna give you guys the option. It can be Brissett or Baker. I'm open to either. I actually think both are pretty solid plays. So who's our QB today? What are we thinking here at quarterback? Before we build this roster, make sure you guys go over to Prize Picks. You play $5, you get $50 instantly. We got that promotion still going. If you use code HOLKA Live, that's how I know you came and supported from the live stream. If you haven't taken advantage of that offer yet, I would truly appreciate it. Supports the show, gets you a free 50 bucks. Why not? Go play your Taysom Hill anytime touchdown on Prize Picks with $5. Get a free 50. Tell him Joe sent you. What do we like at quarterback in this game? Let's get some votes. Brissett or Baker? Any thoughts on Neal at running back? Yeah, I like Neal quite a bit. He was like the top pickup in season long. I think he's fine. I think you're worried about some potential touchdowns taken away by Taysom Hill. Yeah, I guess again the concern in this game is more that I think that we'll see if they can kind of push back enough against Miami. But I mean, I think that that's like an up-tempo game that we want to have access to. So I'm not opposed to it. Not opposed to it. That looks like a heck of a parlay you got rolling here, Rudy. Best of luck, my man. That looks fun. That looks real fun. I hope it hits. That'd be sick. Hill is already gross. Demons is very against this Taysom Hill play. So when he gets me like a 0, I'm gonna be upset. Any word on Marvin Harrison? Yeah, it looks like he's playing. I think he's probably gonna be limited though, right? He didn't sound comfortable in like any of the interviews that he was in all week. We got some Brissett love in here. We got some Baker love. Okay, fair. Yeah, I kind of wish he wasn't playing as well. I'm with you. This Jamel Dean thing, not ideal for us if we're stacking up this game, but I get it. We're going to get the dropbacks. That's the positive thing for Jacoby. So we like that. They cannot run the ball at all. That much we know. There's plenty of options to play in this game. So basically, what we're looking at here then is we're probably getting in Trey McBride and Taysom on this roster then, right? We're just playing Trey McBride like a elite wide receiver at this point, or we're playing Taysom instead of like one of those um, Jets guys, basically. I think that's fair. Like, do we have to try and get in one of these running backs for Tampa Bay? I don't feel that confident that Bucky Irving is going to get a full complement of snaps. So 7K seems spendy. It looks like you guys want Jacoby though, so let's just get Jacoby in there. So I still like the Michael Wilson stuff personally. So how do we feel about this start? Brissett to Michael Wilson and Trey McBride, the double stack, bringing it back with. We can still get a Mac Egbuka in this team, right? A Mac Egbuka. That gets us like very off the board at wide receiver. I feel very off the board with this team. People do not like the Taysom team. We're gonna do two. We'll do a spin-off of this team without Taysom. How's that? 2,700. It's that type of week though. Like, are you just trying to jam in all these like really cheap wide receivers? Like, they look just as bad. McBride very expensive. I agree. Wilson better with MGA in there. No one will play him. That's sharp, Joe. That's next level sharp. I kind of agree. I kind of like the Wilson stuff a little bit. So we need like a decent savings on running back. I think I like the Kenneth Walker stuff a little bit more than you guys do. Kenneth Walker is the one that I like want to prioritize personally. Double digit favorite against Minnesota at home. So that puts us in a nice little range for wide receiver. 5,500. We're 100 away from being able to get DK Metcalf, which would have been kind of nice. We could get in. This is the range we're looking at here. Shakir, Parker Washington, Jordan Addison. That's kind of a gross mini. Jordan Addison. Does he sling it? Do we just get a Jordan Addison mini? On the subject of getting as gross as possible? Jordan Addison at 5,100? This is kind of a gross range at wide receiver. Khalil Shakir, 55. This is a gross range. But maybe like if there's a player that gets unlocked without JJ McCarthy, maybe it is Jordan Addison. Crazy? Are we sick? We might be. We might be sick. This is like the team that's going to get last place or first place. This is not like the high dollar, high conviction lineup for this week. That's for sure. Parker not bad. High on Shakir today. Play one tight end. We're gonna do a team without Taysom right after this. This is like the pure get it out of our system masochist play. So I think we should go with the mini. Let's go Brissett, Wilson, McBride, bringing it back with the Mecca Egbuka. We got the Kenneth Walker and Jordan Addison mini stack. We got the Devon Achane, Taysom Hill mini stack, and then we got Titans D. If we wanted to move up to defense or at defense at all, we could move up a little bit here. We could get the Jets. Jets are kind of interesting, but then we don't have Brees on this team. We can't get to the Seahawks. Can't get to the Browns. What do we like better here? Titans on this team or Jets? Let's go Jets on this team. Let's get a Kirk Cousins pick 6 for the fellas. Steelers? Can we fit Steelers? I don't hate that with offensive line issues. No one's going to play him. That gives us a little bit of leverage, right? Steelers defense. Oh, they just project so terribly. Are we sure about this? I'm going to let you guys make the call. Already gross. Go Panthers. It's definitely gross. Yeah, this is not great. Steelers, I think, is somewhat interesting though. We can tell ourselves a story that they can get some sacks. All right, this is it. So let's go with that for the main roster, but then we're gonna do a spin off of this. We're gonna do a spin off with this without Taysom Hill. We're gonna do that. All right, so let's get this back in. Let's re-enter. Let's throw that one in the Millie Maker, huh? Why not? All right, we're back. Team number 2. So let's take Taysom out. Let's just clear this out in general. Do we want to? We still want to do a Brissett team though, right? That's what we decided. So let's do a Brissett without Taysom. So let's still get McBride in there. Let's get Michael Wilson in there. Still think we want to get Egbuka on this team. And then let's throw in cheapest defense that's viable, Titans. We could still probably play Achane on this roster, or we try and flip the build and do something a little bit different. I'm not opposed to like trying to make a JT team work. We do go like a JT Nico or something like that. What's the leverage spot outside of Achane? Like how do we leverage the Achane people in a smart way? Is it JT? Stroud Collins, ETN. I like the Collins stack as well. It's gonna be popular though. This is a gross slate. So this is the type of slate where I would prefer just to get as weird as possible, still build in some correlation and some ceiling, and build it in a smart way. But I'm not trying to play a ton of chalk this week. I don't think that's the move. So we had, I guess on the subject of chalk, we had Kenneth Walker on the last team. So I think this should be a JSN team. Let's get JSN in there. And then we're going to have to go really cheap probably at the flex. So probably like one of these like Jaden Higgins, Adonai Mitchell, John Mechie type of players. I like the Higgins play a little bit more because he's like always obviously like a big body, could score a touchdown type of play. 9 targets last week. So let's get Higgins in there. And then are we able to even field a roster the rest of the way? Yeah, this is rough. Okay. I guess you don't realize how expensive Trey McBride is, right? Really tough. So I don't know if we can get in unless we're willing to go down at running back. I don't want to play Brissett without playing McBride and Wilson. So JSN is the one that probably handcuffs this team. So we probably can't go JSN on this roster. Maybe this is Jalen Waddle. Like maybe we'll go no Achane and we'll go Waddle on this one. I think that's reasonable. I don't know why I just took out McBride. That gives us a little bit more flexibility at running back. So then we can probably still play Kenneth Walker if we wanted to. We could have this be a Breece Hall team. Breece seems pretty safe. We can get our Breece and Jets in there. What about something like this? And then we try and get real gross in this last spot. Do we just play Breece Hall? Yeah, getting in McBride really limits what you can do. For sure. We could just play both running backs for Seattle. Could go down to Kittle. Okay. No one's going to play Kittle in that spot. In the spirit of getting really weird, I do kind of think that the playing both Seattle's backs is interesting against Minnesota. Double-digit favorites. You know you're going to capture some touchdowns there. That gets us there with 800 left over, so we could upgrade somewhere here. I think if we're playing Brissett, we still want to have Ekbuka. We want to have Wilson. We want to have McBride. Higgins is in there at 3,900. Before I go, a little something for your past prop bets. Cash for me nicely. Let's go, man. Thank you for that $10 super chat, Renegade. Appreciate you, bro. Great to hear you had a nice hit on Thanksgiving. Love to hear it. That's awesome. Let's see what that gets us at wide receiver. Is there anything a little bit better that we would like? 4,700. Gross. Kind of a gross range, right? We do have. No, we don't have Higgins anymore. I was going to say we could do like a mini Alec Pierce Higgins, but I don't really like Alec Pierce against Houston, a team that defends the boundary very well. 4,700. Jawan Jennings. No one's going to play Jawan Jennings. Kind of interesting. I kind of like the Higgins play, though. What else could we upgrade here? Could we get Waddle up to something else now? We can get to do like a Devontae Adams one-off. Justin Jefferson. No one's going to play Justin Jefferson. With our Seattle running backs, just get all the JJ in there. 7,100 for Justin Jefferson. I'm just like, you're just hoping basically that there's any show, like any form of life for Minnesota. But like, this is a very unique way to stack up. Like, obviously, you're getting up all the best players in Arizona, Tampa Bay, a game that we think is going to have a lot of pace to it. We're fading Achane here with this team. Gross. We could go up at defense now, though, if we really wanted to and try and get away from the Jets. We could get in Texans D. We could get in Steelers like we talked about. Can't quite get to Browns D. This is a gross roster. Seattle defense with the two backs. Ooh. Okay, how do we make that work? I agree. So maybe we don't play Jefferson here. We just add Marvin Harrison Jr. to this stack. Everyone's convinced he's not going to play a lot. Is Marvin Harrison Jr. like is he the one that is unlocked here? I've heard worse ideas. He did have 12 targets the last time he played, guys. I've heard worse ideas. Take out JJ, go Seattle. Switch out McBride for Waller. Two instead of Brissett. I want to stick with our Brissett roster on this one. I think we're basically just trying to figure out. I think Gainwell is sharp, Joker. I like Gainwell. Waller saves a lot of salary. If we went double tight end on this one as well. So is Waller someone that hurts Achane? Probably. And we're kind of looking at like this gross range at wide receiver again, where it's Tet, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jacoby. At that point, I just have a hard time not adding in some correlation, right? So then the big bet we're making here is this Arizona Tampa Bay game goes off. A lot of pass attempts for Arizona with Brissett. We hope that this Minnesota and Seattle game gets out of hand early. A lot of running, defensive touchdowns, and then we hope that Darren Waller steals a touchdown from Achane. So we're betting on like three things here, which is like not that bad. This is like a well thought out, correlated chaos team. I like it. I like it. All right, guys. Hope you had fun walking through this gross Week 13 slate. I know I did. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and hopefully everyone has a great rest of their Week 13. And we'll get back at it next week. We do this every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, so hit subscribe. See you guys later. Peace.